Good morning, everybody, and welcome, or good afternoon. Thank you for joining the Child Care Business Coach podcast. My name is Evelyn Knight. I'm so glad you took the time to come here and join me today. If you're on this early, you're probably listening to the podcast online or watching the replay. So just let me know that you're out there. I do like the reassurance knowing that people are listening to me. I love doing what I do. I love pouring into the EC community. It is my biggest passion. For those of you who've been following me, you know my mission on life is to change 1 million children's lives and to impact their lives in a positive way. And I do that by helping child care center leadership up level their game. I help great people who are trying their best to make great preschools, child care centers for the children, great businesses. Because I know if I can help that wonderful owner out there or director who's really struggling but has the passion and the heart, that is going to trickle down to the children. And that's how I'm going to touch 1 million children's lives. And today we're going to talk about something that can help you touch more lives. And it's how to recruit. So I see a lot of you joining right now through the different platforms. It looks like we've got some YouTubers and Facebookers on live today. But in the chat, let me know, is recruiting a struggle for you? Or are you just killing it? No problems. Just let me know. And if you're listening to the podcast recording, send me a message. Let me know. By the way, I'm going to do a quick PSA. If you guys are in my Facebook groups, I have a few different Facebook groups, the Child Care Business Professionals Facebook group, the Building Blocks, my personal Child Care Business Professionals page. Go ahead and follow me on social media on Facebook. If you watch this live, on April 22nd, Facebook will no longer be allowing me to stream onto those platforms. So they're making everybody go live individually. So all of my lives are going to have to go through my personal Facebook page. So send me a friend request, follow me, whatever you're more comfortable with, so that you can connect and you don't miss out on the live presentation. And if you're listening to the podcast, follow me anyway. Come be my friend on Facebook, get a little glimpse into my everyday life and I like to think of myself as a mini farmer. I am a mini farmer now. I have goats, chickens, and one of my goats just had her first baby. My other goat is about to have a baby. So I'm sorry, I'm a little dry today. So that's one thing about recording these lives. I don't get to push pause. But just that really quick PSA. And sorry about that, you guys. Let's see. Yes, recruiting goes in stages. And you're right, it does, right? There's times where it's abundant and it flows, and then there's times that it's hard. And we just can't figure out what is going on. But I can tell you, as a leadership expert and somebody who really studies this stuff, when it goes in those stages, we have to look internally. And I will tell you right now, my childcare center is going through one of those stages. So the first thing I thought is, what are we doing? Right. And I will get you guys, I'm going to qualify right now. This is not easy. I'm not going to pretend like it's easy. It is a struggle for me. And it took me years to get to this point. I used to be the owner who would walk in and just blame everything on my staff and just, why can't they get it together? I say the same thing over and over, right? And we do. We say the same things over and over and over, and it's like nothing is changing. We send them to trainings and nothing changes, right? And it's incredibly frustrating. However, I came to realize that starts with me as a leader, and that is a sign of leadership, and it trickles down to the staff. And if that's something that you are really struggling with, I am going to be teaching a series in April on how to coach your team. It is a very in-depth series. This is not going to be just a quick, it's a very in-depth series on how do you really coach your team? How do you speak to them? How do you guide them? And just to give you a quick preview, when you're coaching your team, you can't just say, hey, I need you to go do this, or model, right? My biggest mistake, this was me. I would go in a classroom and I would do the thing. And I'll tell you guys a story. There was one in particular that I loved this employee. So I literally scheduled myself in her classroom for 30 days from like 8 a.m. till noon. I wanted to be in there for curriculum, just the harder times of the day. So I was working with her and working with her. And at the end of 30 days, she said, "Man, I wish you weren't leaving. It's incredible how you work with the children and how you do all these things. And it's just so incredible. And I wish I could do that." And my mind went to, "What are you talking about? That's why I'm in this room with you for 30 days. That's why I literally shaved 4 hours of my day so I could model for you." And I would just say, "Well, just do it. I've been showing you for 30 days." And I did have the discussion with her. Like, "I have been showing you for 30 days. Why don't you just do it?" "Oh, I can't just do that. There's just something about you that makes it easy." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, what did I do? I just wasted 30 days of modeling all of these techniques on how I want the classroom to run. The classroom is amazing. I fixed it. And now I'm about to walk out of this room and she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it." I was basically the lead teacher. So if you ever wonder, you can have a teacher working with your lead teacher for months and months and months and months, right? And you take that teacher out thinking she was trained by the best. And then you put her in a different classroom and she has no clue what she's doing. That is because she wasn't coached. It's not how humans learn. That incident with that specific teacher made me realize I am doing this wrong. And again, I'm going to qualify, this isn't easy because we tend to place blame and say it's them, it's them, it's them, but it's not. It is us as leaders. So what I did was I thought, what am I doing wrong? And first thing I did was I went to my mentor. And my mentor said to me, "Evelyn, that is not how people learn." She said, "You have to coach her. Coaching is not training, modeling is not the same." And then I dug into the research and I found that when people go into trainings or what I was doing, like the modeling, people only retain about 15% of the information they learned and they only implement 3%. Yeah, I said it, 3%. I want you guys to take that in. All the money that you've spent on training yourself and your staff, only 3% of it actually ever happens. That's it. So, how do we fix that? We learn how to coach. That's why my company is not a training company, it is a coaching company. I mean, people can buy trainings from me. However, I allow that to be their choice, but I know it is not as effective as coaching. That's why my company is set up with office hours so you can come and coach. That's why I have master coaches that pour into you. It's so, so important to come from a place of coaching and not training. So I kind of digress, but that does lead into why you're having problems with recruiting because it's all about our mindset and how we're seeing things, right? And retaining to me is also a part of recruiting. If you're having a hard time retaining your staff, that forces you to have to recruit, right? So ultimately, it's not a recruiting issue so much as it is a retention issue. Now, life happens, people move away, life changes, and we do lose people. Regardless, you could be the best employer in the world, and life is going to happen. So, we do have to have techniques in mind when it's time to recruit. And we do have to be prepared to officially recruit people. So, how do we do it? First of all, you have to stop thinking. So in the chat, tell me how many of you guys go on to Monster. Let me know, where is it that you're posting your job offerings? Are you going to Monster, Indeed, Craigslist? I have to tell you, funniest story, you guys. I belong to a very, very high level mastermind group, right? And you have to be like, your companies have to bring in a minimum of about $1.2 million to join and all of these other criteria. And the executive assistant who runs everything and the executive assistant or the person like who's co-owner, his assistant, holy cow, I've never seen a more efficient, a more just on top of it, just everything. She is the whole package. So I asked him, where did you find her? How did you find her? Like, she's amazing. And she's only like 26. He's a Craigslist. Craigslist. You heard me. Craigslist. I just was blown away. I mean, this is a top level billionaire CEO. Craigslist. I'm like, wow. So before I would have said, like, stay off of Craigslist. Now I'm just like, maybe I need to be on Craigslist. But let me know, how are you guys recruiting? Are you going online to one of those platforms? Are you doing it the old way? I know in Nevada, our registry allows us to put in that we're like you can put jobs through our registry for ECE. I'm going to tell you, I want you guys one day to go through any of those recruiting sites, whatever you're using, and I want you to pretend like you're looking for a job. And I want you to scroll. I want you to scroll. You are literally competing with thousands of other jobs. It isn't ECE. ECE is not the problem. It is not, because Facebook pages, yeah, Facebook pages are actually pretty good too, because you're more localized. I like that. So ECE has this view, right? And we keep telling ourselves over and over again, well, I can't pay enough, and we don't have benefits, and we don't have this. And we have, I mean, when it comes to everything, we have every excuse in the book. We do. But that is not the problem. It is not. The problem is how we are coming into this world. How are we representing ourselves, right? What are we putting out into the world? So if I were to just Google search and go into my local Facebook and found some preschool ad, it's probably going to say something like ABC Childcare is now hiring for an infant teacher, $19 an hour, health benefits or not, whatever. But that's it. And then right underneath that, Starbucks is hiring for a barista. Right underneath that, for me in my area, the Tesla warehouse is hiring, the Walmart distribution center, Chewy, Kohl's, on and 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 on, and pages and pages and pages. And what you don't realize is you're not standing out. People who you're trying to recruit are literally looking at a sea of 1,000 job ads. Why would they choose you? They know nothing about ECE. We forget in our industry who we are. And we think the whole world knows who we are and what we're about, but they don't. When you're recruiting, you have to think outside of your bubble. You have to put yourself in their shoes. Now, I do tons of research on this stuff whenever we have any of these issues. And Gallup recently actually wrote a book on this. And Gallup, which is the biggest, my polling company in the world, just did a huge study on what is going on with the workforce. And there's a couple things that we need to understand in early childhood education that actually places us at the forefront of recruiting. It actually puts us in a position where we could have the easiest time recruiting than any other industry in the world. The problem is we don't know how. So I'm going to go over with you what Gallup found. Gallup found that the number one reason people look for a job is because they want to make a difference in the world. They want to know that the work they're doing has lasting meaning. What better industry than early childhood education? We are literally forming 90% of a child's brain. If you know your purpose, you have a strong vision in your childcare center, and you make that so contagious that the people who are coming to apply for a job can feel it and see it, they're going to want to work with you. I guarantee it. If you make it so contagious that your job ads have it so obvious that, holy cow, this is a field I could work in that will change my life. If that's something that you know you can do, you're going to have no problem hiring. That's why at my childcare center, we have more than enough applicants that come in because we're very vocal and we know how to let our community know what work we're doing. So the next thing that they're looking for is they want a safe environment where they can be accepted as part of like a family culture, right? They want that culture to be good. They want to know that they're a part of a team. The next is they want to be nurtured by their boss. They want to be recognized and they want to work for someone good. Am I vocal? So Facebook users asking, where am I vocal? Facebook when out and about. I'm vocal everywhere. So I used to advocate a lot. I have taken a hiatus from advocacy since my husband passed away. I am stepping back in right now in my life. I am getting ready right now to go back into the public eye when it comes to like policy. But I would talk to my city council, go to Rotary Club meetings, community, oh gosh, what is it? Any community events like Chamber of Commerce. If you guys know the BNI, Business Networking, I can't remember, so many acronyms in my world, but the BNI group, it's a networking group, and every city across America probably has one, well, or one close by. And you basically become a member of these groups, and people from all different industries are in these groups, and you just go and talk about your industry. That's it. They give you a platform to speak about and educate the people, right? In BNI groups, each chapter does not allow a competitor. So it's really cool because that's a wonderful way. The premise of BNI groups, though, is that you network, right? So you give everybody your business card, digital or paper, and then when they run into somebody, they spread the word for you. So when I first started, I was very active in BNI. And if I needed to recruit, every time you get to say like a quick 2-minute need, every BNI. So I would say like, I'm recruiting. And then people are passing their stuff around for me. Here's the thing though. The people who are putting it out into the world knew who I was. They knew my purpose. They knew my vision. And they knew how much change I create in my community. So now I have an army of people going around telling other people, hey, Evelyn's hiring. You need to get this job. You don't understand. She's on a mission to change our community through the children. The children that go through Hirsch Center end up going to college. And so in my town, the rate of children that go to college is like 20%. So it's a big deal, right? So they have to know, why are you here? If you want people to help you recruit, which I don't believe in hiring, you guys, this is a huge subject. I don't have time on a quick episode to teach. I don't really believe in hiring. Sometimes we do have to post for jobs. It is sometimes necessary, but I really don't like doing it and I don't believe in it. I believe in recruiting. I believe in always having my eyes open for the right person. I know what characteristics I'm looking for in a person. I know what their values should look like, and I recruit them. If I could be at the grocery store, and if I see the same clerk who's doing an amazing job, and I notice that she's really attentive to the children in her line, she's patient, she's kind, I'll say, hey, I'm hiring. Do you want a job that you can make a difference in the world? Like you're already making a difference standing here, checking these people out. I see how you're treating these children and the smile that you bring every day. All of the people who pass through your checkout line, you're bringing a smile to their face. Now, how would you like a job where you can intentionally impact the world? And let me ask you, if I told you that, what would you do? If I said, come work for me, I'm going to show you how you can change the world. Our little community, one at a time. Because I'm on a mission to change 1 million children's lives. Here in my local community, I own a preschool. And that's how I pour into this community. But my preschool isn't just any preschool. My preschool is looking to the future. I understand that the children in my preschool are going to be the future leaders in our community. And what most people don't know is that 90% of their brain and the brain functions that they need to form in order to be successful adults are happening now. So my preschool focuses on that, to make sure that they have a very successful future. That is what I focus on. And so that I know by the time my preschoolers graduate from college, they're going to be successful. And then I might say something like, in fact, I've been in business in my town for 17 years. And I can't tell you how many of the kids that were in my childcare program come back to me after they graduate from high school, after they graduate from college, and tell me how much I impacted their life. Now imagine if you were my recruit and I said all that to you. Now imagine that they went and applied at your childcare center. Who are they going to work for? If I come to you with that much enthusiasm and that much passion, who do you want to work for? Most of you don't know where your passion is, and that is why you cannot recruit. You have no idea. This industry doesn't know how valuable it is. It doesn't know where its passion is. And if we could just harness that, recruiting is a piece of cake. And I can tell you guys by example, same thing with retention. When you understand that, people will go through war with you. And I am living proof that that can happen. Now, again, it is a lot, and I can't really teach all that on a short, just condensed version of this. But even if I do have to place a job posting, I'm not going to post something like, oh, we have an opening in our childcare center. No, 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 no. That's not going to attract anybody. And that's not what I do. I'm going to post something like, would you like a job that is going to impact the world and can possibly impact generations? Would you like a job in helping to break generational strongholds? Now, that's what I do. And I know that is what my preschool does. My preschool can literally change my community. This work I do here in childcare business professionals can literally change the world. And by the way, I do have to get a PSA. I had some of my people tell me that I have not been talking about this, and I do need to. This podcast, the Childcare Business Coach podcast, is brought to you by Childcare Business Professionals. And if you would like more information, check us out. We are on the web at childcarebusinessprofessionals.com, but we do help leaders with things like this. We go in depth on helping you learn how do you fix your processes, your procedures, so that you can retain. How do you understand your passion? If you're struggling with that, how do you get back there? How do you find out why is my job so important? How do you become an employer that people want to work for and cannot leave? That is the work of Childcare Business Professionals. So message me, send us an email at admin@childcarebusinessprofessionals.com, or any of the things. If you want more information, I am looking because I know I can put it here. There we go. Admin@childcarebusinessprofessionals.com, or just send me a message. And we would love to tell you how we can help you get to that point where it's not so stressful anymore. And that is really what I do. I try to give you your life back. My company is all about empowering childcare centers to see how valuable they are, to understand that the work you do is the most important work in the world, and also to help you get your life back, to lessen your stress, to lessen your load, and so that you can step into the person you should be. And you can wake up on every morning and just think to yourself, thank God I'm alive, instead of thinking to yourself, oh God, why am I alive? Life does not have to be that way. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Again, I do teach an entire series on creative recruiting. I'll have to look at my calendar to see when the next time I'm teaching it. I know there's a couple states asking me to come in and teach creative recruiting. I've done it for the state of Nevada, and I'm talking to a couple other states about coming in to teach this because it works. It's really just helping your community know the power of early childhood education. So please make sure you like and subscribe. And remember that April 22nd, Facebook will no longer be allowing me to stream into groups. So make sure that you're following me personally or send me a friend request so that you don't miss out on any of these live. And if you're on the podcast, thank you so much for listening and being one of my loyal downloads. Please make sure you subscribe and send me a review. That's how you can thank me. is by reviewing my podcast and just giving me that 5-star review. Have a wonderful day, everybody.